Let's apply this to the workplace. What are some examples of how it is that biases that are embedded into AI are showing up in the workplace?
So I want to take this question by looking at a couple different industries because I think that that is a way to show the totality of how in which AI is showing up. Let's think about law enforcement, criminal justice, and policing, right? So there is bias in predictive policing. The AI algorithms that are used for predictive policing, they have been found to reinforce existing biases in law enforcement. And that leads to over-policing of certain communities, particularly communities of color. And also that gets into the realm of violations of civil rights. Now, I am US based, and so I think that's important context for me to bring to the conversation. But let's also bring this to employment and hiring within the workplace.
Yeah.
Gender and racial bias exists, right? And so there are a lot of AI powered tools that are leveraged by HR professionals, and they have been shown to exhibit gender and racial biases. That results in, as you can imagine, discriminatory hiring practices that can disadvantage women and underrepresented minorities. And when we're trying to be very intentional about casting the net wide, giving everyone full opportunity for success, if we are using tools that are minimizing and disadvantaging those populations, then we're working against a primary goal that a lot of organizations have is they're starting to really diversify their workforce. Let's think about the financial services industry, right? Credit scoring. There's bias, AI algorithms, and credit scoring. And the problem with that is it results in individuals from certain demographic groups being left out or receiving lower credit scores and limiting their access to financial services. And that has a ripple effect of home ownership, of building wealth, of I mean, just so many different things that we don't necessarily consider. Healthcare. I talked about in the beginning that sometimes even the harm in AI can be a result of life and death. So there's diagnostic bias where AI systems that are being used for medical diagnosis, they can perform differently across different racial and ethnic groups. We saw this during the pandemic, where there was a lot of information that was unearthed because of the bias that were existing in some of the technologies. And that can lead to misdiagnosis. And then, of course, just disparities in healthcare outcomes. And so I could go on to share just examples across so many different industries and sectors, which is why this is such a big conversation to make sure we're centering ourselves on as we continue to see it grow in popularity.